Sir Morrow and his brother George Ford's latest appearance for England against Italy in the Six Nations tomorrow. We are finishing up this week's edition of the Matchday Preview programme with news of a big slam in Suffolk this weekend. DOA Wrestling will return to Ipswich tomorrow evening at Murrayside Hall. The promotion, based across the east of England, has been hosting shows in the town since 2014, but this will be the first at the new venue on Nacton Road. Harvey Bell has been chatting to the banker, Marc Lloyd, ahead of his main event showdown with Ben Jones in what many are billing the Battle of Ipswich.
My name is the banker Marc Lloyd, and I'm a wrestler for DOA. I've been wrestling for DOA for 8 years now, and I'm a former champion in DOA as well. I was on fire, knocking the Corral family down, and out of nowhere, Ben Jones decided to blindside me. I didn't even see it coming. It's always special, you know, getting to wrestle in your hometown in the main event to Ipswich lads as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a special match. I'm ready, and this time I can see Ben coming, so I won't be falling for that again.
I've grown up watching wrestling, and I assume you have too, but how do you get involved with wrestling yourself?
So it's something that, like yourself, I grew up watching wrestling, and I saw a show that was very local to me when I was about 18, and that inspired me to kind of look locally and have a look online to see if there were any training schools. And it essentially went from there. I went to training schools, which then you progress through the ranks, obviously learn the skill of wrestling, and then you can go on to shows.
And in terms of getting involved with those different promotions, there must be a lot of people along the way that you've encountered, whether that be professional wrestlers, promoters, but who has helped you the most along your own personal journey?
So for me, I've tried not to sort of stay in one training place too much. I've tried to venture out and get as much experience from different trainers, different schools, you know, different professional wrestlers. You know, I've done lots of training seminars with, you know, people that are in WWE now, for example, like Pete Dunne. I've done training seminars with people like Bram. So, yeah, it's just about, I think, just getting as much knowledge as you can from lots of different people and then taking little bits from everybody.
When that first match actually rolls around, you've done all of the training for it. What is going through your mind? You must be nervous, but full of adrenaline, excited to go.
Yeah, very, very, very nervous. I just remember my first match. It was, nothing went awfully wrong, but, you know, when you look back at it a few years later, for example, you think, oh, that was really bad. Why did I do that move there? Or, you know, that move could have been a little bit better, and you start, you know, criticising yourself. But overall, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, very cringy to watch it back.
But now, 15 years on, do you still get that same feeling? Do you still have that same reflection on all of your matches?
I probably do. Maybe not to the same degree, but I definitely do. Yeah, I still get nervous before each and every match, and I still watch the match back if I can get the footage. And you always learn, even if you've been wrestling for 10 or 15 years, there's still always something you can do differently, something that you can lay in a little bit differently, make look more impactful, engage with the crowd differently, you know. Just so much to learn as you go along.
Who, for you, growing up, when you used to watch on the TV, WWE, WWF, who were your big inspirations at the time?
For me, it was the Attitude Era, and everyone was into sort of The Rock.
If you're some man!
And Stone Cold.
Give me a hell yeah!
But I was always leaning towards Jeff Hardy, kind of the smaller guys, the underdogs, and you know those kind of wrestlers.
You mentioned Jeff Hardy there. I understand your finishing move is the Swanton Bomb. There's obviously a nod to him there.
A little bit, yeah, definitely. When I started wrestling, I had long hair as well, like Jeff Hardy, and yeah, the Swanton Bomb, or the Brexit Bomb, as I call it, being the banker, is one of my big moves. Yeah, definitely.
In my head, they count to me, they understand, they talk to me.
One thing that I did want to talk to you about is character, and a big part of that character is, of course, the music. So talk to you a little bit about entrance music. What is it like when you hear your music play for the very first time?
It's very cool. I'm a big fan of characters and gimmicks, and gimmicks is a bit of an old school term. It's more sort of character based now, albeit I am a banker, which is a bit of a gimmick. But yeah, I mean, my first entrance music, I reached out to someone who personally kind of created it for me, so it's actually individual to me. And the guy who did that is actually a guy who writes the music for AEW now, Mikey Ruckus. And then it sort of had news taglines in throughout the entrance music, and talking about me being the biggest banker in the family and things like that. So that was quite cool.
Don't powerbomb me through the desk or anything for asking this, but one thing that really annoys me as a wrestling fan is when the sport is described as fake. What do you say to people who make that claim?
I tell them that I've had 2 concussions from a so-called fake wrestling. It's obviously scripted, planned, but so is a film. And you watch that and get drawn along with all the storylines and the emotion, and you don't watch it thinking, oh, that's fake. You get involved in it and enthralled in kind of, what's going on.
There's so many different moves that you have to do and learn, because it's not just the moves that you perform, it's the ones that you receive. I wonder, which is the hardest to execute, and also which is the most painful to take?
Hardest to execute, I think, for me, it's anything that involves your opponent landing on their neck or their head, because saying that out loud, you realise that, that's actually quite dangerous. Any big moves like car drivers, things like that, they can be quite hard to execute, and only the very most, experienced wrestlers would kind of, bust out those moves, really. In terms of most painful to take, I don't particularly like chops, like a strike across the chest with your open palm. I can take the bumps in the ring, pretty much all day. But yeah, those chops, they do really sting, and they really ache the next day or for a few days.
I wonder, to a wrestler, what does success look like? Because in any other sport, it's quite easy to recognise what success is. In football, you score a goal. In rugby, you score a try. But for a wrestler, is it a title reign? Is it a main event spot?
So I guess it's different for every wrestler and what stage they're at. For me, in the past, it's definitely been a title reign, for example, because that means that you are essentially the top wrestler in that division. You are the champion, you're representing that brand, you're looked up to as a champion. So it's definitely a measure of success. I think for me personally now, I've been in wrestling for 10, 15 years. It's not so much about the championships. It's more about being the best version of me that I can, and the fans are coming and paying their hard-earned money to watch a wrestling show, and they just want to be entertained. So for me, it's just about putting on a good show. You'll
be definitely looking to do that this Saturday, putting on a show. The main event of DOA Reloaded against your former tag partner, Ben Jones. How are you feeling ahead of that one?
Yes, well, yeah, didn't last very long, that tag team partnership with Ben Jones, unfortunately, as he decided to stab me in the back. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, looking forward to put things right, really. I'm also going to prove myself in DOA, but so is Ben Jones as well, so there's quite a lot on the line here. It's the so-called Battle of Ipswich as well, 2 Ipswich lads battling against each other. It's going to be an interesting one.
That's what made it so surprising last time. The two of you both sort of teaming to defend the honour of Ipswich, and he's obviously gone and he's betrayed you as such. So talk us through those moments leading up to the moment where he's hit you with that full Nelson.
Yeah, so it was a tag team match in Ipswich last October, and we had a local councillor, Ruman, in our corner as well, the whole of Ipswich on our side as well, against the devious Farrell family. So I was battling with the Farrell family, needed some support. So Ben Jones and myself formed a bit of a tag team, with the common theme, being that we're both from Ipswich. And yeah, halfway through the match, I got the tag in. I was on fire, knocking the Farrell family down. And out of nowhere, Ben Jones decided to blindside me. I didn't even see it coming. Just attacked me, massive clothesline, and as you say, hit me with that full Nelson slam. And then I lost the match. Ben Jones left the ring. I was pinned. Just complete shock, I think, in the building.
You've got a couple of Swanton or rather Brexit bombs waiting for him on Saturday night.
I think so. I've got a couple of Brexit bombs lined up. Got the credit crunch as well that I can fire up and hit him with. I'm ready. And this time I can see Ben coming, so I won't be falling for that again.
Of course, as big of a match it is against Ben Jones, it's also a stacked card elsewhere. You've got Danny Darko and Dillian Slade in tag team action. The social media championship is on the line. It's going to be a fantastic evening, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at the card earlier, and the amount of talent on the show is amazing. Yeah, we've got 6 or 7 matches, 5 championship matches as well. A real sort of variety show, something for everyone, family friendly. It's going to be a great night.
1, 2, 3.
Sounds good. BBC Suffolk Sports' Harvey Bell speaking with the banker Marc Lloyd ahead of his grudge match that sees 2 Ipswich locals go head-to-head in the main event of DOA Reloaded. That's tomorrow at Murrayside Hall on Nacton Road. That is pretty much it for this week's Matchday preview programme. Angel Joseph on the way.